Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to the finale of our F124 Salvaging Sauber career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here in Las Vegas for the season finale and of course also the last video I'm going to make on F124, at least for the foreseeable future. Of course, we've been through so much throughout the entirety of this campaign, but we have a three-way championship decider between myself, Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Between Max and I, it is winner takes all this weekend. Lando Norris needs to win and hope for a little bit of luck on his side as well. He needs to win with neither myself or Verstappen on the podium if he wants a shot at the crown here. Of course, if you missed out on the last video that went live from Brazil, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Of course, for those of you that kept up with the driver career mode over on the main channel, this one I really want to win. Obviously, we won the F1 2003 career mode. We narrowly missed out on the F1 24 driver career mode to Oscar Piastri. And of course, obviously, we missed out here before to Oscar Piastri out in Vegas. So for the Ferrari customer teams, for Sauber, for everybody, I want to try and win this championship here today. Of course, get yourself subscribed if you're new. F125 content is right around the corner. You guys do not want to miss that as well. Of course, we've been doing a lot of these videos recently to try and make sure we were done in time for F125. But it has been a really enjoyable series that I've had a lot of fun doing as well, of course. And yeah, hopefully you guys are going to stick with me through the journey on F125 as well. But yeah, without further ado then, one final time in our Sauber car, let's try and walk away with a World Championship, because then we can claim we've officially salvaged Sauber Formula 1 team.
The walls are close, the speeds are high, and the location is borderline unbelievable. It is time for qualifying in Las Vegas.
Well, here we are then, one final qualifying session inside F124, and it comes at one of the wildest circuits inside the game. Love the AI autopilot immediately putting me towards a wall off the start. That's not ideal, but luckily no damage, so no harm, no foul. Through the first couple of corners here, of course, just got to try and remain as committed as ever. But I'm a little bit nervous. Red Bull looked good this weekend. We know what Verstappen can be like when, you know, the pressure really starts to ramp up. He either kind of finds something extra or bottles it. It's one or the other inside this sport. So we'll have to wait and see which one he ends up with this weekend. Of course, I'm just hoping that reliability doesn't affect any of your top three in the World Championship. I want this to be a good, clean, fair fight for the crown this weekend, as Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso are looking very good early on. Of course, for me, it's actually quite beneficial if someone else wins this race, because of course it'll give Verstappen and Lando less opportunity to try and outscore me by the end of the afternoon, or end of the night, I should say, here in Vegas. Either way, one of three of us is going to be celebrating around probably one of these casinos at the end of the Grand Prix, but it's anybody's money who that is going to be right now. Who's your money on? Dark blue or neon green, I guess, is the ultimate question. But through the final couple of corners, though, we are not going to claim a pole position this season by the looks of it, as we get the power down on the run towards the line. As long as we end up inside the top 10, I can't complain too much. We will end up 7th. That's okay. Well, if it were to finish like this, then it would be Verstappen who is your Formula 1 World Champion by just 2 points over myself. Fernando Alonso, though, will claim pole position ahead of Charles Leclerc. Red Bull will lock out row 2 just ahead of Stroll, Perez and myself. Gasly, Sainz and Ocon inside your top 10 there, so neither Mercedes qualifying in your top 10, neither does Oscar Piastri, or annoyingly, but less surprisingly, Valtteri Bottas. Come on, let's do this thing. I want to leave F124 on a high.
We might be in the middle of the desert here, but it does still rain in this part of the world. It's raining right now. How is that going to affect things down the world-famous strip at the Las Vegas Grand Prix? 17 corners, 3 straights and 2 DRS zones. We have taken over the world-famous strip, and Formula 1 is going to have a top speed there of around 210 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Fernando Alonso lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Stroll, Perez, Mr. Monaco, Gasly, Sainz, Ocon, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas, Tsunoda, Albon, Joe, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Okay, so it's a poor result last race, and even today we're on the last row of the grid. Come on, mate, if we're going to do anything, we need to do it now. You need to show the team what you can do.
Well, here we are then down on the grid one final time this season, and for whatever reason, Alex Jake seems to believe it's raining around this circuit. It's not on the radar, so I'm hoping that's not going to happen. But 18 laps ahead of us then here from Las Vegas, of course. Charles Leclerc taking some grid penalties, so we've been promoted to P6. Verstappen, though, as long as he doesn't win, we can just follow him around tonight. We don't have to worry about getting ahead of him. So we're going to try and play it safe. We're going to try and do what we need to win the World Championship, but try to avoid taking too much risk as well. As we wait then on the grid for those 5 red lights here in Vegas. Oh, it's a mighty long hole, but it is going to be lights out and away we go then. Norris not responding very well. Checo's done a good job as he tries to go between Lando and Lance Stroll. Oh, into turn 1 as we actually have a little bit of contact with Lando Norris there through that first corner. So I'm not quite sure how we ended up kind of making it out unscathed, but not a good start for him. Not a particularly good start for myself either there. We haven't lost any places. Lando Norris certainly has. You can already hear the bottom of the car scraping along the floor as Verstappen's done exactly what he needed to and has immediately inherited P1 as well. So very, very good start by him. So we are still tucked up behind his teammate here off the start of the Grand Prix. Or is that Norris, sorry, that's taking P1? I can't quite work out what the number says on the back of that car. Oh, I got it completely wrong. So Norris, sorry, is taking the lead of the Grand Prix. So with us down in 6th, I believe it would actually be a tie for the World Championship if Norris were to win this Grand Prix. A 17-point buffer heading into the GP there. But yeah, Verstappen, I thought, yeah, of course, he'd been out-qualified by Lando, hadn't he, here? So it was Verstappen that didn't start on the front row, sorry, and Lando Norris that did. Of course, he needs to win and basically just hope that Verstappen and I don't do that well tonight. But obviously only time will tell as to how that all pans out for him. Of course, I don't want to be in a situation where we tie for the World Championship because we never know about fastest lap inside this game. Vegas is normally one of the easier circuits to try and claim fastest lap bonus point, but I don't really want to risk it. Well, I will give it credit. The sense of speed you get in cockpit cam inside F1 24 is actually pretty good inside this game, but I think we're going to try and do a top speed test then as we make our way out to the back straight. Of course, now we've got the DRS here. Try and get the power down, tucked up behind Verstappen. We've basically got a full charge of battery, so we're going to try and use a load of it here. So let's try and give ourselves a little bit of breathing room. You can see Verstappen now trying to save up some charge of his own. So we're going to try and go for it. There goes 220 miles an hour. There goes 230 miles an hour. 232 by the end of the straight. It's all Verstappen. It's actually going to use that as a chance to have a look down the inside of Lance Stroll. Stroll's going to be vulnerable on the exit as well, so we will try and find our way through. As you can see, I think Norris has actually lost the lead of the Grand Prix and P2 to Checo Perez. But as we move up then into P5, we are back into championship winning territory, right behind the 2 cars. I just need to keep an eye on. Perez and Alonso both want to try and claim their first victory of the season here tonight. And look at that, just quickly, how quickly everybody else bunches up behind him. Norris again trying to go for a run if he possibly can out onto the back straight, onto the strip. Of course, around this circuit, so we're going to be under a little bit of pressure from, I believe that's Lance Stroll behind me, or alongside me, or maybe even ahead of me. So look at this, 3 wide, almost 4 wide, as Verstappen tries to get involved in the mix as well. And again, we're just going to try and be risk off here as Norris, another big move back to the lead of the Grand Prix. Verstappen trying to carve his way through as well there, as now Stroll's going to go for it. They're 3 wide again off the corner, as we are going to get involved this time round. Whoa, back in towards turn 1. Stroll doesn't spot me. Tries to cover us off there, and I mean, this is frantic racing early on in the night. We don't need to risk it this much. I don't want to risk it this much. But you kind of just get thrown in there as Verstappen again forces his way past Lance Stroll on the exit of turn 2. We're going to try and follow him by again there as Perro's battling against the man that he swapped with heading into this season. Oh, Stroll again there outbreaks me initially, but we will get the corner. Here we go. What's going to happen between Perez and Norris as well, just up in front? I think Perez is going to try and make the move work. He'll have the inside line, the outside line, as we race past the sphere once again. And there we go, Perez back into the lead as well. Verstappen has to wait in line. There we go again, Norris trying to look down the inside of Sergio Perez. I think we're going to see a bit more of a patient Matt Stroll this time round in towards the braking zone there, as there goes Norris again on the McLaren driver. They're still wheel to wheel on the exit, but we're going to try and capitalise there as well. Perez very slow. I thought there might have been a window to the outside there, but we have to back out of that one as Verstappen now, he's bided his time early on in this race. Maybe trying to line up a move on his teammate down at turn 1. We've just got to try and make sure that even if Verstappen does get up into the lead, that we don't let him run away with it. Because here we go. He might now be able to get a run on Lando Norris again. Red Bull versus Red Bull for the lead of the GP. They've just got to make sure those two cars don't come together. And oh, it's Verstappen locks up. I thought they were going to try and do a bit of flying formation there. Lando just letting him by. He will still let him by, but that got scary. I mean, what do you do if you're Christian Horner tonight? You know, both your drivers have got a shot at the World Championship. Lando Norris needs to win it. Max Verstappen needs to finish ahead of me. Obviously, well, effectively, he needs to win it, and then there's nothing I can do to win the world title for myself, mathematically guaranteed. But do you let, do you just pick a number 1? Do you kind of let them battle each other? At the moment, it seems like Verstappen just about is able to get the power down out onto the strip, that it's not much of a problem. But as we prepare for the pit stops, surely you're just going to prioritise whoever's in front, and then you just end up in an even more aggressive battle between your two cars. I would not want to be Red Bull tonight. Here we go, Norris again then. This time round trying to have a look. Oh, it's Verstappen. Okay, we'll squeeze him out. Yep, we're trying our best. Yeah, we've got to try and make a couple of moves before the pit stop window, because these two are definitely getting more aggressive with each other. I said I wouldn't want to be on the Red Bull pit bull tonight. I'd be quite happy to be in one of their cars, though. That thing is much quicker than ours. Right, come on then, let's see if at the very least we can try and get between those two cars. As down the strip we'll go yet again. Verstappen, oh, he's got nothing. 3 wide for the lead and for the World Championship. And Verstappen, nothing he can do there. Norris, though, hangs on and back into P1. But now we would win the world title. Utilising the slipstream then, but trying to save up the battery here as we tuck up behind Lando Norris. To the inside we'll go. And maybe for the first time today we can lead this Grand Prix. Yes, we can. So I don't know, I'd say you're always a little bit worried. The AI will sometimes force you defensive there. So I don't want to drift back over towards Norris's line. So up then into the leads, and you can see those Red Bulls still fighting behind us, so this puts us in a good spot. The team wanted me originally to pit the end of that lap, but I'm going to try and extend it. I would dive in this time, but I think Bottas might be coming in. And of course, although it's not my main focus, I would still like to beat Ferrari in the Constructors. I'm hoping we'll get confirmation in just a few seconds that Bottas is into the pit lane here. The other thing I wasn't willing to admit was that I don't really want to pit around other cars because I'm so worried about getting done for pit lane speeding again. But I'm just going to try and be really, really risk off into the pit lane. I want it to be kind of under no question that we have not spared in this GP. That's good. That's what we want to hear. So we will call it in this lap.
The pit box is currently full. Stay out on track. Stay out.
Yep. Thank you, Mark. Still, they can't work that out. Right, we'll make sure we don't do what we did in Brazil and completely forget that I need to make a pit stop in this Grand Prix. Like I said, we're going to be so risk off into the pit lane here. I can't remember if it's 50 or 37, but either way, we slow down to about 34 miles an hour there, and into the box will come. We should have clear pit lane as well, of course, by letting everybody else dive through. Even if we've been jumped by the Red Bulls, I'm not too worried at the moment. It's come on, nice and tidy stop. No!
We need to try and put that behind us, and let's finish the race as strong as possible.
I strongly dislike Sauber, man. I mean, that is so realistic to real life in 2024. As we make our way back out into the circuit, and we're going to be down to P5 in this race. Is that Verstappen? I think that is just in front of us. So I believe now, even if we were to finish here, we would still be world champion by 1 point over both Max and Lando, if I think Lando's winning. But now, if that Mercedes gets by, we would lose it.
Pass for the lead.
So I'll just double check that it is Verstappen in front of us. But yeah, Norris has got a breakaway. Whichever Red Bull that is has got a breakaway. I'm like 90% sure.
Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Your last lap time, 1 minute 34.5.
So yeah, if things were to finish like this then, like I said, I think we would win the world title by 1 point over both Red Bulls. Lando's gone though, but that's not too much of a worry. Well, I am honestly just happy to sit behind Verstappen at the moment. I do not want to take any unnecessary risk in this GP. But as Verstappen will try and go for a move then on his former teammate Perez, 230 miles an hour there as well. Perez actually got back in front of him to have a look himself for a move against Fernando Alonso. And the end of the back straight, Verstappen will be getting so frustrated in that Red Bull car right now. He is watching his championship hopes slip through his fingers. Oh, Verstappen, he's locked up, he's gone. Verstappen, that might be his world championship dreams over there, a lock-up down the end as we try and prepare ourselves for the strip. And I cannot believe Verstappen's just done that. Where on earth has he dropped down to? Is he right behind me? Nope, he's gone.
Fresh hards. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Time last lap, 1:32.
Yep, I don't care about all that, Mark. We've got bigger things to worry about. Max Verstappen, a huge lock-up down the end of the back straight. He might have just been able to avoid damage. I certainly won't with that little wall tap. Just nudge the front wing ever so slightly. But suddenly now, it feels almost like a weight has been lifted off of our shoulders. Verstappen in the wars. And Norris, well, he's going to be able to do very little. He's still controlling this race like he needs to. But unless we get like a mechanical failure or something, it's not going to be enough for him. Well, you know what, with Verstappen in trouble then, and 4 laps to go, I'm going to try and put on the afterburners here and see if we can get back to Lando Norris. Our final race of F1 24. I want it to be a win.
They've got some kind of mechanical problem.
Really not too worried about that right now as Alonso will try to look back around the outside of Sergio Perez. Oh, I thought about having a look to the inside there, but again, just don't want to risk it down into the braking zone. But yeah, Norris actually isn't really pulling away from us 3. Perez now really struggling for drive off of that final corner. Clearly used a bit too much battery. What, as Alonso and we might be able to work together to get back to the Red Bull. Let's try and get a run then on Fernando Alonso here to help both of us out in this Grand Prix. We'll use the DRS. Fernando, though, oh no, he's not playing the strategy game with me. What is Fernando Alonso doing there? I thought he was trying to save battery and was just going to let us by, but apparently not. I mean, he must be right on the cusp of the 1 second to Lando now with 3 to go. Well, 2 laps to go then of this race, and now Fernando Alonso, the wily old fox, he has got himself in the range of Lando Norris. He's practically pushing Lando Norris along down at these final few corners. But with 2 laps remaining then in our 2nd season of Formula 1, this is critical. As long as we get over the start-finish line, we shouldn't, touch wood, we shouldn't now get a penalty. Oh, sorry, an engine failure.
Nice work. That's why I love working with you. Smashed it.
Come on, Mark. Let's try and win this World Championship together, buddy. 2 more laps to go. We can afford to sit here, but I want our final race on this game to be a win. 4 wins in a row earlier on. So we've got yellow flags out now, so no idea who's out of the Grand Prix. You can see a car there way down the end of the escape road, but I would assume it's a back marker or something like that. But are we going to see Alonso try and make a move for the lead of this race with just over a lap remaining? We've just got plenty of battery in reserve. We are just going to wait to try and use this all on the very last lap of the Grand Prix. But we can use a splash of it this lap as well if we need to here. Down through the S as we go for the penultimate time. And despite never claiming a pole position, I don't believe, inside this series, will today finally be our day. Lando Norris, he needs us to have an accident basically now. Max Verstappen, he needs to try and get back ahead of me here, but I've got no idea where the Dutchman is running at this stage of the Grand Prix. But is Alonso going to go for it, or is he going to bide his time against Lando Norris? I think he's going to go for it. To the outside goes the Aston Martin on the Red Bull. And Fernando Alonso, yet to win a race this season. Is tonight finally going to be the night? He's still wheel to wheel with Norris as well. They trip each other up on the exit of the corner.
first place.
I'm watching it happen right in front of me, Mark. I'm well aware that's what the Red Bull driver has just done. So again,
Okay, mate,
Fernando trying to make that Aston Martin as wide as he possibly can.
By 15.1 seconds.
I don't think Bottas is going to be getting any points tonight as well, but if you'd bet on neon green this weekend, maybe, just maybe, you're about to cash out here. Fernando Alonso, though, again down the inside. British Racing Green might not have a shot at the World Championship, but they are still trying to battle for glory here to win the final race of F1 24. This is a brilliant battle late on in the GP there, but who on earth is going to come out on top? Side by side they go, or through the S's there, through the chicane. Norris again able to hang on. We've still got a few cars behind that are more than willing to apply the pressure if they need to here. Lando, he needs a great run out onto the strip, but it is all going to be for naught in the World Championship. I think there is all a little bit of front locking as we try and get the car slowed down. Do not make a mistake now. Do not lose a wheel on this final lap of F1 24. It's been an interesting game. It's been a tough game at times. But are we going to end it on a high? Here goes Alonso again to the outside of Lando Norris. Are we going to be able to get a bit closer as well? Yes, we will. To the inside of Lando we will go. In towards the final braking zone of the World Championship. Fernando Alonso is up into P1. Can we use our remaining battery to get a run on him back towards the line? One more photo finish inside F1 24. Will we get there? Yes, we will. And it is going to be P1 in Vegas.
Nice one. Very lovely drive. On to the next one.
Oh, you are my hero! You're my hero! You've done it! All of that work has come down to this, and you are the world champion. Great stuff!
It's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. Victory today then, but bittersweet emotions, I'm sure, as the championship slips through their fingers. Even so, what a fantastic final race of the season this was.
They've won the championship and now they sign off in style as winning the last race of the season as well. Brilliant stuff by this driver today, and you carry that momentum through to next year as well, of course. So it's for all now to try and stop what they've created.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. It's thrilling to see this team go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the sport and come out on top. What a superb victory for the Sauber team. It has been young talent shining through once again. I've been Alex Chase. My thanks to the whole team. We'll see you next year when Formula One returns.
Well, there we are then. The end of the race, the end of the season, the end of F1 24, and we finish it off with a win. Very happy with that. Fernando Alonso comes through for P2 ahead of Lando Norris in the finale. Perez ahead of Russell and Charles Leclerc. There means 6 cars from 6 different teams making up your top 6. Stroll, Hamilton, Verstappen and Ocon will round out your top 10, and agonising for Williams as they fail to pick up a point this year. Bottas in P12 just ahead of Oscar Piastri, who it feels like hasn't scored points in like half the races in the second half of this year. Hulkenberg, one more DNF for him. Sainz with issues as well, relegated him down to P17. But when we take a look at the World Championship standings, 27 clear. If we had another race this season, it would all be wrapped up with that result there. Verstappen and Norris tied on 220 points apiece, but that will still be, you know, for us, we've done it. Finally, we have done it there, and a World Championship for Kick Sauber. We've won a World Championship for them. We've won a World Championship with Ferrari, Mercedes, and of course our own My Team as well inside this game. So very, very happy with the success we've seen. Just the one that will always pain me, of course, was the Haas RTG. 2 World Championships slipping through our fingers. That was devastating there. Perez in 4th overall with a really good season in McLaren. Charles Leclerc, Alonso, Piastri, Russell, Hamilton and Sainz rounding out your top 10. Just ahead of Stroll, Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda with that huge result back at Monza beats out Gasly. Hulkenberg ahead of Bottas and Ricciardo with a point on the board. Albon, Zhou and Sargent all failing to score. Constructors-wise, Red Bull, they pretty much dominated that throughout the entirety of the year. McLaren in a distant P2. We do beat Ferrari in the end, though, to be the best Ferrari-powered team this year in 3rd. Aston Martin, Mercedes, Alpine, VCarb, Haas, and last but not least is Williams. Like I said, thank you everybody for the support throughout the entirety of this game. It's a little bit weird because I recorded the last race of the Haas driver career mode like a month ago. Even when this video is going live, that series hasn't actually come to an end yet when I'm recording this as well. But yeah, we will be back very soon on F1 25. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Yeah, we'll be back very, very soon.